My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes in life we face trials that shake us. We find ourselves accused, mocked, slandered, misunderstood, and perhaps even betrayed by those we thought were close to us. The pain of injustice is heavy. The urge to defend yourself, to retaliate, to speak out and prove your innocence can become overwhelming. But let me take you to a moment in the life of one of the greatest humans to walk the earth, a moment that changed the way we as believers understand patience and divine justice. There was a time when Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, was slandered in one of the most painful episodes of her life. Lies spread, tongues wagged, people she never expected participated in gossip. Imagine the pain of being accused while knowing you're innocent and no one seems to speak up for you. But do you know what her response was? She remained silent. She cried. She turned to Allah. And guess what? Allah revealed verses from above the 7 heavens declaring her innocence, not just privately, not just to her family, but in the Quran until the end of time. Allah defended her. That's what happens when you leave your affairs to Allah. When the world is loud and your heart is shattered, silence is not weakness. It is a powerful form of worship. Allah says in the Quran, indeed Allah defends those who have believed. Surah Al-Hajj 38. Sometimes life takes a turn you never expected. You sit quietly, doing what's right, avoiding harm, wishing well for others, praying with sincerity, and yet the outcomes don't seem to match the effort. You look around and wonder why everything seems to be delayed. The plans you had for your life, the goals you prayed for, the answers you've been waiting on, they all seem so far away. You feel like your life is stuck in pause while everyone else is moving forward. But that's when you need to pause yourself and remind your heart of a powerful truth. The one who created your story knows exactly how it's going to end. Trust His timing. You see, we live in a world that glorifies urgency, quick results, fast answers, instant success. But Allah doesn't work according to the clocks of this world. His wisdom is far beyond what we can grasp. When something is delayed, it is not because He forgot you, it's not because He has overlooked your prayer. It is because He is working on your heart, preparing you for what's better, removing from your path what you don't yet see, and writing a story for you that will make sense only when you reach the right chapter. Until then, He asks you to trust Him. When we say we trust Allah, it means we are willing to put our hearts at ease even when we don't understand. It means we're willing to let go of anxiety and replace it with surrender. It means we believe that Allah is never late. Even when it seems like your dua is unanswered, it's only because the time for its answer has not yet arrived. And when that moment does come, it will be so perfectly timed that you will look back and say, had it come any earlier, I wouldn't have appreciated it. I wouldn't have been ready for it. Think of Yusuf, peace be upon him. As a young boy, he was thrown into a well by his own brothers. Then he was sold as a slave. Then he was falsely accused and thrown into prison. If you were to look at each stage of his life, it looked like a series of tragedies. But the story wasn't over. Every stage was a page being turned in a divine script. Every delay was an elevation. Every hardship was a stepping stone to something greater. And when the time was right, he was raised to a position of power in the land. He didn't chase it. He didn't plan for it. He simply remained patient, truthful, and connected to Allah. That's the kind of trust we need to have. That even if everything looks dark today, the chapter of light is already written. It just hasn't been read yet. When you feel anxious about your future, remember the one who has already written it. When you feel worried about your risk, remember the one who is the source of all provision. When you feel like your time is running out, remember the one who controls time. Allah doesn't need to rush. He's not bound by deadlines. His knowledge is complete and His wisdom is flawless. So when something doesn't happen on your schedule, don't panic. Don't assume He has forgotten you. He knows you better than you know yourself. He knows what your heart needs even when you are asking for something else. There are times when you want something so badly, you keep making dua for it, crying in sujood, pleading in the middle of the night, but it doesn't come. Not because your prayer wasn't heard. Not because you weren't sincere, but because Allah knows something you don't. Maybe that thing would have distracted you from your purpose. Maybe it would have made you arrogant. Maybe it would have brought people into your life who would have harmed you. Maybe the timing is just not right yet. And perhaps what you think is a delay is actually a mercy. Sometimes the delays you face are not punishments, they are protections. You may be delayed from entering a job that would have caused you great stress. You may be delayed from a marriage that would have drained your peace. You may be delayed from a decision that would have led you away from Allah. So the next time you face a delay, don't let shaitan whisper that it's because you're not good enough or because Allah is displeased with you. Instead, tell your heart this is part of His plan. And He plans perfectly. You know, when you plant a seed, it doesn't grow the next day. You water it, you give it sunlight, you wait, and only after time does it begin to sprout. Some trees take years before they bear fruit, and yet no one gives up on them. No one digs them up to see if they're working. You trust the process. So why don't we trust the process of our own lives? Why do we dig up our du'as with doubt? Why do we question the journey just because we don't see results right away? The same way a seed needs time to grow, your dua needs time to unfold. And the beauty is, while the seed is hidden in the soil, Allah is nurturing it in ways you can't see. So be patient, be consistent, keep watering your efforts with prayer, your days with gratitude, and your heart with remembrance. The results will come. They always do when He decides. And while you wait, remember, silence can be one of the most powerful acts of faith. There are times when being quiet doesn't mean you're weak. It means you trust that Allah will speak for you, that He will respond to the lies, the accusations, the insults and the injustice, that He will clear your name when the time is right. Sometimes the best thing you can do is step back, stay silent, and let Allah take over. There are moments in life when people will speak against you, judge you unfairly, misinterpret your actions, and twist your words. You'll feel like shouting your innocence from the rooftops. You'll feel like defending yourself in every gathering. But what if instead you chose silent synods out of fear but out of faith? Silence that says, I know Allah is watching. I know He is the best of judges. I know He will handle this better than I ever could. Silence is not always the absence of words. Sometimes it's the presence of wisdom. It's the ability to restrain your tongue when it wants to fight back. It's the strength to walk away from a pointless argument. It's the courage to trust Allah's justice over your own revenge. The Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, didn't rush to defend himself when he was falsely accused. He didn't campaign to prove his innocence. He let the truth unfold in its own time. And when it did, it came with honor, dignity and justice that only Allah could provide. When you remain silent for the sake of Allah, the heavens respond. The angels write every moment of your patience. Your silence becomes your strength and your reward multiplies. Allah defends those who are sincere. He honors those who are humble. He elevates those who rely on Him. So don't think your silence goes unnoticed. Don't think your tears are wasted. Don't think your restraint is in vain. Every moment is counted. Every wound is seen. Every prayer is heard. Let the world speak. Let the liars lie. Let the slanderers spread their poison. You don't need to be part of the noise. You don't need to reply to every attack. Your silence isn't ignorance, it's intelligence. It's knowing that if you lower yourself to their level, you lose your peace. But if you rise above and let Allah be your defender, He will bring the truth to light in ways you never imagined. And when Allah defends you, no one can overpower that. When He clears your name, no rumor can stain you. When He lifts you, no enemy can bring you down. That's the difference between defending yourself and being defended by the one who knows all, sees all, and judges all. But for this, your heart must be steady. You must train your soul to accept that silence doesn't mean defeat. It means you've handed your case to the highest court, and Allah never loses a case. So the next time you feel the urge to fight back with words, pause, ask yourself, is this worth disturbing my peace? Will this help me, or will it just feed my ego? Can I leave this to Allah and trust that He will handle it better? Because sometimes Allah allows people to lie about you so He can elevate you through their sins. Sometimes He allows your reputation to be attacked so He can polish your soul through patience. Sometimes He lets people walk away so He can bring better ones into your life. His plan is always better than yours. His script is more beautiful than any explanation you can give. So be silent and let Him speak on your behalf. The hardest silence is when you know you're right, but you still choose to be quiet for the sake of Allah. That silence carries a weight of sincerity, a depth of reliance, and a proof of submission that no loud argument can match. In that moment, you are closest to the character of the prophets. They were hurt, they were mocked, they were called names, but they knew that the response of heaven was greater than the applause of earth. There will always be moments in your life when people refuse to see you for who you truly are. No matter how much good you do, no matter how honest your intentions may be, there will be those who twist your words, doubt your sincerity, and misjudge your actions. It can be painful. You may feel a strong urge to explain yourself, to justify every step you take, to make them understand. But what if I told you that not everyone deserves an explanation? What if I told you that your peace is more valuable than their opinion? Because there are some people who are not interested in the truth. They are only interested in their version of it. They have already made up their minds about you, and no amount of talking will change that. So instead of exhausting yourself trying to fix their perception, protect your peace. Don't waste your energy explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. When someone has a preconceived judgment about you, their heart is no longer open. Their ears are no longer listening. They don't want to understand you. They want to justify their own narrative. That's why no matter how much proof you give, they will twist it. No matter how kind you are, they will question your motives. It's not about you, it's about the condition of their heart. So save your breath. Protect your dignity. Let your actions speak. Let your silence echo louder than their assumptions. It's not your job to convince everyone of your innocence. Your job is to remain sincere, to keep doing what is right, and to seek the pleasure of the one who knows the truth even before you say a word. One of the most liberating decisions you can make is to stop living for the approval of people and start living for the approval of your Creator. You were not created to impress people. You were created to serve your Lord. And the truth is, even if you do everything right, there will always be someone who finds fault in you. The prophets, peace be upon them, were the most truthful, the most sincere, the most noble of people, and yet they were insulted, mocked, accused, and boycotted. So if it happened to them, don't be surprised when it happens to you. What matters is that you remain firm, that you remain upright, and that you keep your heart clean. Don't fall into the trap of trying to win people who enjoy seeing you struggle. Some people feed off your discomfort. They like to keep you on edge. They ask questions not to learn, but to trap you. They pretend to be confused, not because your words are unclear, but because they prefer their own version of events. Don't lower yourself to their level. Don't try to justify what they've already decided to reject. Allah is the one who opens hearts. And if He has closed their heart to your truth, then He has protected you from their influence. Instead of trying to explain yourself to people, turn to the one who already knows. Make your case in sujood. Speak your truth in your dua. Share your story with the one who wrote it. That's where real peace begins. That's where the real healing takes place. Because people may dismiss you, but Allah will never turn you away. People may talk behind your back, but Allah defends you in ways they can never imagine. There's a difference between clarification and desperation. Clarify when needed, but never beg for understanding. Don't reduce yourself just to be accepted. Don't change your values just to fit into someone else's mold. When you live with integrity, you'll naturally repel people who thrive on manipulation and drama. Let them go. Not everyone is meant to walk with you. Some people are a test, others are a lesson, and a few are a blessing. You may feel tempted to retaliate, to respond with sarcasm or bitterness, especially when people accuse you falsely. But remember, your words carry weight. And silence, when used with wisdom, carries even more. Walk away from arguments that drain your soul. Avoid discussions that only lead to more confusion. If someone truly wants to understand you, they will make the effort. And if they don't, no amount of talking will make a difference. Protect your peace. Not every battle is yours to fight. Sometimes the greatest form of self-respect is to walk away in silence. Let your character speak. Let time reveal the truth. And most importantly, let Allah handle what you cannot. Because when you remain silent for His sake, He speaks on your behalf in ways that no voice can match. And then there are moments in life when you look around and feel like everyone has turned their back on you. People you trusted walk away. Those you supported abandon you. You start to feel alone, isolated, forgotten. But let me tell you something beautiful. Sometimes Allah removes everyone from your life just to show you that He is enough. When the world turns its back, that's when Allah shows you His face of mercy. This isolation that you feel, it's not rejection, it's redirection. It's a divine invitation to come closer to the one who never leaves. Because when people distance themselves from you, it gives you space to reflect, to realign and to reconnect. In the silence of loneliness, you begin to hear the whispers of your heart that were once drowned by the noise of the crowd. You begin to realize that no human being can fill the void that only your Creator was meant to fill. Allah's mercy often comes disguised in moments of hardship. You may not recognize it at first. It may look like loss. It may feel like pain. But if you look closely, you'll see that behind every tear is a hidden blessing. Behind every closed door is a new path. Behind every broken relationship is a stronger connection waiting with your Lord. You don't need to chase those who left you. You don't need to beg to be understood. What you need is to turn to Allah with a heart that is ready to be healed, ready to be guided, and ready to be filled with peace. The truth is, sometimes we become so attached to people that we forget our dependence on Allah. We seek comfort in others before turning to Him. We ask people to fill needs that only He can fulfill. And so, in His mercy, He removes those attachments, not to punish us, but to purify us. To teach us that true peace doesn't come from people. It comes from knowing that Allah is with you, even when the world is not. Think about the Prophet Yunus, peace be upon him, alone in the belly of a whale, in the depth of the ocean, in the darkness of night. No one could hear him, no one could rescue him. But he didn't panic, he didn't despair. He turned to Allah and said, "There is no God but you. Indeed, I was among the wrongdoers." And with those words, in that isolation, Allah responded. Because when you call upon Him with sincerity, no place is too far and no situation is too hopeless. There are times when people will walk away simply because they can't handle your truth. Don't chase after them. If they were written in your story, they would still be part of it. And if they left, it means their chapter in your life has ended. That's okay. Some endings are answers. Some departures are protection. Some silences are a form of divine speech. Allah speaks to us through situations, through delays, through solitude. Are we listening? Don't define yourself by who stayed or who left. Define yourself by who you become in their absence. Do you grow bitter or do you grow better? Do you fall apart or do you fall into sujood? Because the way you respond in your lowest moments will determine the strength of your rise. And when you choose to rise with Allah, nothing can break you. Let your pain push you towards your Lord. Let your solitude be a sanctuary. Let your tears cleanse your heart. Don't resist the process. Sometimes being broken is what allows the light of guidance to enter. Sometimes losing people is what helps you find your true self. And often being alone is what finally allows you to feel the presence of the one who has always been with you. Sometimes in life you will be wronged in a way that shakes your heart. You did nothing to deserve it, yet you were targeted. You were honest, but people still lied about you. You were respectful, but others still insulted you. You kept your heart clean, but they kept filling theirs with envy and hate. And in those moments when the pain hits your soul and you wonder, why is this happening to me? You need to remember one powerful truth. Allah sees everything. Not a word is uttered except that He hears it. Not a deed is done in the darkness except that His light surrounds it. So when you feel helpless in the face of injustice, don't think you are forgotten. You are not forgotten. You are being watched over by the one whose justice never fails. And His plan is far greater than any harm caused by a person with limited knowledge and a corrupted heart. One of the greatest acts of worship in the face of injustice is patience. Not passive silence, but active patience. The kind of patience that makes you stronger, not weaker. The kind of patience that restrains your tongue from saying what you'll regret. The kind of patience that holds your hand back from responding in anger. The kind of patience that reminds you that this world is temporary, but your response is recorded forever. You see, people think patience is about weakness, but it's the opposite. It takes immense strength to stay silent when you could expose. It takes deep faith to hold back when you could fight back. It takes a heart that trusts its Lord to remain calm while being attacked. But the reward for that patience is something no oppressor can take away. When you choose patience over vengeance, your status is being raised. When you choose silence over retaliation, your name is being mentioned in gatherings of angels. When you choose to walk away from a battle you could win just to protect your soul, that's when you truly win. In moments of oppression, the heart cries for justice. You want something to happen. You want people to know the truth. You want those who wronged you to be exposed. But your timing is not the same as Allah's timing. You want things now, but He knows when it is best. His wisdom surpasses your pain. So while you wait for His plan to unfold, don't waste your energy in hatred. Don't let the oppressor occupy your heart. Let them go. Not because they deserve peace, but because you deserve peace. You deserve to breathe without bitterness. You deserve to heal without hatred. You deserve to grow without carrying the weight of someone else's darkness. Trust that justice will come because it always does. Sometimes in this world, always in the next. Some people wrong you because they see your light and it bothers them. They see your peace and it makes them restless. So they try to disturb you, to provoke you, to dim your light. But you don't need to defend your light. Just keep shining. Light doesn't argue with darkness. It just exists and spreads. You are not here to convince people of your worth. You are here to live in a way that pleases your Creator. Let that be your focus. You were not created to be liked by everyone. You were created to be sincere, and sincerity sometimes invites enemies. That's the truth. The more sincere you are, the more some people will try to twist your actions. But don't let that change you. Don't let people make you bitter. Don't allow their injustice to make you unjust. There is a comfort in knowing that even the most righteous were wronged. Think of the story of Yusuf. His own brothers plotted against him. He was thrown into a well, sold into slavery, and then imprisoned despite his innocence. But throughout all of that, he remained patient. He didn't plot revenge. He didn't lose hope. He didn't let the betrayal of his brothers define his character. He knew that his Lord was in control. And when the time was right, Allah raised him in rank, reunited him with his family, and turned his pain into power. That's what happens when you surrender your pain to the one who understands it best. That's what happens when you stop trying to fix everything with your own hands and start trusting the one whose hands created you. The path to justice may be long, but the one guiding you is never late. When you feel betrayed, you might think, I will never trust again. But don't let one person's darkness block the light from your heart. Be cautious, but don't become cold. Be wise, but don't become hard. Keep your heart soft, because a soft heart is a strong heart. Anyone can grow bitter. Anyone can harden themselves after being wronged. But it takes a special kind of strength to remain gentle, to still believe in goodness, to still choose kindness. That's not weakness. That's strength rooted in faith. And when you're in that moment, when it seems like you have every right to speak out, to shame the one who wronged you, but you choose instead to remain dignified and trust in Allah's justice, know that you are being elevated, you are being honored in ways you cannot see. You are being prepared for blessings that are greater than what you lost. Because Allah never allows your pain to go to waste. He turns every wound into wisdom, every tear into strength, every test into a testimony. Sometimes those who wrong you don't even realize what they've done. Or worse, they know exactly what they've done and they still feel no remorse. But that should not shake your peace. Their arrogance doesn't delay your justice. Their silence doesn't stop your healing. You don't need their apology to move on. You need your Lord's mercy. And as long as He is pleased with you, you have everything you need. Let your du'as carry your complaints. Let your sujood carry your pain. The most powerful words are the ones said when no one else hears. When you cry to Allah with words you can't even express fully, He responds in ways you never imagined. He replaces what you lost. He restores what was broken. He lifts you in honor when others tried to drag you down. That's the power of divine justice. Quiet but unstoppable. Gentle but absolute. Never forget that Allah is on the side of the oppressed. Even if the whole world stands against you, if you are truthful and sincere, you are not alone. The heavens are with you. Angels surround you. Your pain is being recorded. Your tears are being counted. And your reward is being prepared. So walk with that certainty. Smile through your struggle. Forgive not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Let go not because you are weak, but because you are strong enough to trust in the wisdom of your Lord. And when you do let go, when you release that bitterness, you begin to rise. The weight of hate is heavy. The burden of revenge is suffocating.